top end, yeah.
I can see them in the pits, they're just heading down.
All right, yeah. Well, it gives a chance to get some more spectators into position as well. If you want to see the jet car run, I think Bob's getting the blame.
Everything that's not my fault is Bob's.
Yeah.
And
Mind you,
vice versa.
I've got to say thank you to Bob because I did nick one of his chips at lunchtime.
Ah, excellent. The large one.
Yes, it was the biggest one on there, and it did make the plate look rather empty once I'd taken that one off.
Ha. So the safety crew's just headed to the top end. They have been gloriously untroubled this weekend, which is what we like.
Right, just to call out into the pairing lanes, all you Run What You Brung drivers that got cars in the lanes, can you please return to them? As basically, as soon as Roger has done his run, the Run What You Brung will start up once again. And I know there's quite a lot of cars in the lanes at the moment. I didn't get very far. I ended up chatting to a few people. But yeah, the lanes are full. So plenty of cars to come at you this afternoon.
I think one of the beauties of an event like this is you do, albeit not much, you do have time to socialise a bit more.
Which I think everybody is certainly making the most of that.
Yeah. Alrighty, I can see the paramedics are down at the top end now.
Well, still got that fueling issue that Helen was alluding to earlier on. Oh, so gutted for the team. I know they really wanted to get that running. They'll get it back to the pits. They'll continue to work away at it. But as I mentioned earlier on, the only time they can test this car is on the start line here. You can't take it home, fix it, and then go, yeah, we'll just test it. You can't. You've got to bring it back to the track to do it. Oh, really frustrated for the team, but I know they'll get it sorted. They're not a bunch for giving up under any circumstances. Right, so we look into the pairing lanes. It's Run What You Brung for a fair old while now, to be fair. The time now just coming up to 1 o'clock. And our next round of eliminations is at 2:30. So you've got a good solid hour and a half of Run What You Brung coming at you now. And we should get through quite a lot of the cars, if not all of them, in the lanes, and some of them will get some double runs as well. I've had some messages come in. I've heard from Russ in Spain, obviously Russ Heaven. Unfortunately, they are out for the day with a broken front crankshaft seal, unless anybody happens to have a spare one for a small block Chevy. So if anybody is near the Wild Bunch pits and can help the Tight Fit team out, they are desperately trying to get hold of a front crankshaft seal. Fingers crossed that they can get that sorted out. Oh, apparently, I've heard another message come through. 100% certain on it. Thomas Kakabit said it's Ford in the car. Skippy's son from Ratchet Strap Racing. So many thanks indeed for that one. Right, the Frankenstein Chevy, that's had a few issues this weekend. Fingers crossed all goes well for them on this one. This is the Tri-Chevy Shoothouse, Simon DeVos and Steve Murphy. Simon's run a 13.51 so far. Steve Murphy 14.30. Away at 122 miles an hour. That's much better there for Steve. Simon finds an improvement as well, so both of them in the 11-second zone. Right, Brad Strevitt. He is the number 4 spot at the moment, 11.53, and Dean Hemblade, 15.26 with the drop dead gorgeous 57 in the auto glim lane. Roger Helen and the Firestorm team head back to the pits. Fingers crossed, guys. I'm really desperate to get that running. Right, 11, 68, 15, 26. One of the very entertaining cars this weekend. John Beam with the chopped Morris Minor. Hilarious to burnout. It's actually did a burnout earlier on this weekend. It actually crossed the centre line and ended up in the energy check lane despite starting in the auto glim lane. But a very rapid car indeed. And it's the pickup that's wild is an understatement. Different, but nevertheless cool as anything. Well, way straighter than normal for John. Goes 10.27 at 134 miles an hour. That's his best run of the weekend so far. And also for the pickup there, 10.95, 120. Hey, the Tot Rod's back. Can you believe Tot? That went 50 mile an hour on its run earlier on. That's wicked. Off he goes once again. That is the quickest stage as well. Look at the light as well. 007 reaction time. It's Mr. Bond. See if we can go over 50 mile an hour again. Yeah, 50.74, 13.04. I should run a junior dragster. Love it. Just looking at social media at the moment, the amount of racers that are going, oh yeah, new personal bests all over the place. Absolutely fantastic. So a lot of people having a great time here at the Nostalgia Nationals in conjunction with the NSRA. Don't forget, pay them a visit. They are just by the crossroads, you know, where the pedestrian crosses the pairing lanes. Right, Dan Williams with 1962 Impala, a new car to the team. Started the weekend running a 16, desperate to run a 14.99, went 15.01 in round 1 elimination. Nostalgia Superstock. I wonder if he's got a 14 for us this time. Going alongside that lovely little altered. Goes 11.61, and Dan Williams off 15 dead. Oh, so close. But another PB for the car. Well done, Dan. Getting the job done. Maybe one more run and it'll be there. It will be there. Mind you, the next time the car runs, it'll be going a hell of a lot quicker. Right, Graham Smith once again with the Mustang. We can dip into the 11s again. Whoa, dip? Dip into the 11s. Well, they've done to it. 11:39, 117. Cracking run before that. His best before that was 11:78. Oh, a 1930s Ford Coupe with a blower. Beautiful sound, beautiful looking car. And it's the Dark Revenger of Dave Cherritt. He'll be racing in a couple of weeks' time at the main event in Pro ET. And that's young Steve alongside. First run of the weekend for the Ford. Cheeky little wheelie there for Dave. Now then, can he run a 9? He's going to be very close. He's on the taps all the way through. He does it. 9:92 at 129. Like that. Makes you wonder if he's going to go super gas at the main event instead of Pro ET. Sometimes you see a car and you just instantly fall in love with it. And the Chevelle of Guy King fits. The interior is as beautiful as the exterior. Car just looks so right. Going alongside the Morris Minor, my goodness me, this car has had plenty of runs this weekend. Certainly getting good value out of his 25 quid run with your brung fee. So the King goes 13.91 at 101, 14.99 for the Minor. Now, the only reason Guy King's got that here is because he managed to break the gears in the axle on his other car. Absolutely stunning car this is. Running in the Gasser Circus, but outplaying now in Run What You Brung. A 13.3 or better would be nice. 13.67 at 100. It's not too late to sign on from Run What You Brung. I know the lanes are very, very full at the moment, but obviously we will get as many of you through as possible. But only 25 quid to Run What You Brung today. The requirement though is pre-1973 only, and everybody has to wear a crash hat. A wonderful chat with Andy Park in the pairing lanes during the lunch break, and very keen to show me the new setup he's got there. It's a Whipple supercharger. Now Andy always used to run nitrous in the car as his power adder. That's all come out, and replaced it with the Whipple blower, and 10-0 off the trailer and then into the 9.9s. A very happy camper indeed. Bearing in mind he comes all the way down from Scotland to run this. Let's see what he's got for us this time round. Oh, tiny little bit of wheel slip there. Generates some serious power. Going to be a very high 9 or a low 10 once again. It's a 10.04. Loss of 1/10 of a second was purely down to the wheel slippage he had off the line. Otherwise that would have been another 9 definitely. Right, a couple of the Gasser Circus cars lining up together. That's Tim Holmes with the Ragged Wedge alongside Ray Irish with the pickup. Now, if it was a race, it'd be a 10.6 dial-in for Tim and 9.99 for Ray. But this is just run what you brung now. .10.03, 10.65. All right, Green Onions and the Barnet and Grant Falcon. I believe these are the cars that have been eliminated in Gasser Circus. Indeed they are, so they're still here having some fun. .11.48, 11.45. Phil Moores is making it to the line. That's the first time I've seen him this weekend with the supercharged Willis. We'll be racing in the Willis Wars at Dragstalgia. Don't think he's actually got any track time between now and then, but does a lot of the shows as well. Beautifully prepared car. .11.03, 122, going as quick as ever. 11.28, 115 in the auto glim lane. That car getting good runs in today. Very good to see that some of the cars eliminated in the actual race classes are just signing on for Run What You Brung and hanging around and still getting extra runs in. Don't blame you. Make the most of the track time. And not only that, you with not the normal Run What You Brung crowd either. This is all pre-1973. Again, a lot of the 100Es. I wish I'd all of the sheets together and all of this lot. That's Paul Lawn in the energy check lane. Went 98.58 miles an hour earlier on. And this weekend's best so far, 14.07. That's a much better launch though. Also Glim Lane running away. 11.78 and a 13.86. First one in the 13s this weekend. At 95 miles an hour. Got there too quick to go any faster. So Lizand Oil in the auto Glim Lane. Going alongside Sean Doyle. Says husband and wife. Husband out in front, the wife with a better reaction time. .13.05 to 15.49, honours shared. One had the better, quicker car, but one had a better reaction time. So if there's an argument between them, then the reply will level it out. Good to see them racing together. All right, I missed actually, you jumped in the driver's seat of this one. Ted and Kate, I know it's Ted, driving the Outlaw Anglia, which also appears in the Gasser Circus. Two very quick cars here. Proper old school. Unfortunately left before the tree ran, but 9:37. Cracking run there for Ted. 144 miles an hour. All right, Garth Wong, he is in the auto glim lane. First time I've had his sheet actually to hand. Circa 1964-65, this one, in the auto glim lane. All right, Martin Hallam with the Whiplash. One from the Gasser Circus. And this very rapid Anglia put a run in earlier on, actually made a 10-second run. .10.63, 10.59, best run of the day from the Anglia. Although Martin dials in 10.60 and did go 10.60 earlier on. Mick Payne with the retirement package. Had a great run earlier on, actually. Very pleased with that one was JT. Had a run of 10.17 earlier. .10.28, 131, 11.41, 127. Two vehicles that have had a huge amount of runs this weekend and very quick ones as well. The pickup went 10 flat, I mean 10.00. Oh, big chassis twisting launch and oh dear, I think that's game over, unfortunately. Bit of fluid, I think that's trans fluid that's actually come out as a gear that's disappeared as well. 12.47 at 110. In the auto glim lane, but that was the one, what they call a one launch too far. Absolutely loaded up to try and get a 9-second pass, but unfortunately game over. But some brilliant performances from the truck this weekend. Just decided to pick that moment to think, I can't take any more. So I'm going to need a bit of a retrieval job out there and a little bit of a clean up in the energy check lane, but what a shame. What a great shame. That was really going some. Well, just for the time being, unfortunately, we're going to be down for a few minutes whilst the track crew do their stuff and retrieve the vehicle and a little bit of fluid clean up as well. So Nitro FM 96.2. The airwaves are yours for the time being, but once we're cleaned up and ready to go again, we will take it back. Okay, we are back in Run What You Brung. Had a very nice long chat with Roger from the Firestorm team. And when you get a bit quiet out there, I'll relay the information. But they are a little bit gutted that the jet wouldn't run properly today. So we'll bring you up to date on that one a little bit later on. Mind you, we are back into Run What You Brung. And what a shame for that wicked Chevy pickup there. Monster chassis twisting launches, but I've got a feeling that was drivetrain related, being the gearbox, I think. But best of luck to the guys getting that fixed. Well, they won't get it fixed today, but I know they'll be back again soon. Right, first run of the day. 15:48, 71 mile an hour for that car in the auto glim lane. It sort of went through and I missed it. Apologies for that one. But the pairing lanes, obviously, chock-a-block. And don't forget, we've got round 3 eliminations coming up for our race classes in about an hour's time, which basically means we've got an hour of Run What You Brung and whatever else that's down there. Glorious afternoon here at SantaPod for day 3 of the NSRA Hot Rod Drags here. Hope you're all having a fantastic time. Do I need to remind you that we got some pretty big meetings coming up? I'm going to anyway. Next weekend, get yourselves up here for the Big Bang Camper and Bus Show, or is it Transit Mania? But on the racetrack, it is the Door Slammers. 3 days of the most intense door slammer action you will ever see in the UK. The Swedish invasion, the Scandinavians are coming. Boy, oh boy, we have got the most incredible door car action. That's not forgetting the Maltese squad. All those coming over from Germany. It's a European meeting here. The best door slammers you're ever going to see. 25 cars entered in Pro Door Slammer, where the winner will take away £10,000, and they all want to take that big pot home. Right, Gary Carr, he'll be here next weekend with the Camaro, and he's getting some practice in here today, as he wants to be in the best shape possible for next weekend. He's got a big prize fund that he's going to be racing for. That's a good looking run. He's already in the 9s. 9:43, 142 miles an hour. Very nice indeed. We got Rob Brown in the slingshot going alongside Callum Swinchat. Callum, 8.90, a superb new personal best for him earlier on today. Went 147 miles an hour to set both ends, actually, of his PB. Rob Brown, freshly licensed this weekend, and his best so far, 8.52 and 159, also set today. Now, the Rebel, the slingshot dragster, new to the team for this season. The Rathchild car had done a huge amount of work for the team, but their quest for speed meant the purchase of this car and turning it into the Rebel, and what a super job that they've done. Callum Swinchat, on the other hand, his early career started in junior dragster, of all things, and a lot of them go on to Super Pro ET or Pro ET or some of the door classes, but Callum's path has taken them into the Wild Bunch with this wonderful Topolino altered. So side by side, 8-second passes. Oh, Callum does a 9.03. Whether he'll run another 8 or not, I don't know. I tell you what, I think he's going to run another 8. He's done another 8, 8.93, 146 miles an hour, 8.58, 155 there for Rob Brown. Oh dear, they're going to have to change that 9 to an 8 on their dialing board now and just leave it there. There's no point trying to put a 9 on it anymore. The car will not. Right, Dan Boone with American Pie, this gorgeous looking slingshot dragster. So period correct. It's eerie. It really is actually. It looks like it was built way back when, and then someone's dry stored it for 50 years, and they've just dug it out, cleaned it up, and brought it back to the drag strip. Mind you, Dan Boone hasn't been in the car, and they didn't leave him in there for 50 years. This is the normal age Dan Boone. Now, Dan Boone is an out-and-out hot rodder. He really is. He's got two beautiful 1930s Fords. One's a hardtop, one's a coupe. Both the same colour. Beautiful cars. Does a lot of shows. But having a go in American Pie. Now then, his personal best, 8.60, which coincidentally is the target time on the scoreboards at the top there. If he goes quicker than that, or goes quicker than 156.28 miles an hour, then he'll frame that timing slip when he gets home at the end of the day. That's a good looking straight run there for Dan. Is he going to go 8.5? Oh, 8.69, 152, but very consistent this weekend for Dan. Shoots out into the shutdown area. Very, very nice clean run indeed there for Dan. 8.69, 152. Right, Leo Knight. Good to see Leo joining in the Wild Bunch with the Topolino altered. A best of 8.89 at 146 miles an hour. The car has got phenomenal potential. But Leo will be the first to admit that it's quite a handful, this thing. But he's not afraid of it at all. If you're afraid of these things, you wouldn't get him in the first place. Going alongside Craig Larman. A regular 10-second runner is Craig. The car is called the Ferret. So the methanol burning altered there of Leo Knight just coming up to the line. As soon as he hits the loud pedal, the throat will clear. That's a great looking run there for Leo. 8.19 at 160 miles an hour then is PB, well done. That's more like it. The Ferret goes through 10.51 at 121 miles an hour, well done there to Craig. And actually that is the fastest speed that the Ferret has ever done. So well done there. That's 120.79 was his PB. He's now gone 121.79. Right, just had a piece of metal handed to me by Ian Marshall, the chief start here at SantaPod, and it is a chrome front wheel spindle cap. So if you've lost one on the racetrack this weekend, a chrome front wheel spindle cap. Got it up here in the tower. If you want to pop up here and see us, and you can reclaim that. Otherwise you might have a front wheel that might be losing a bearing. Right, Mick Hillier, the Texas Ranger. Philippa Turton with the little altered Line 20, place 13.10. Oh, good looking run there for Mick Hillier. 9.30, 140, 13.64, 95 there for Philippa. Mick Hillier went 9.18 earlier. His PB prior to the weekend was 9.25. Well, if a guy deserves a break this weekend, it's Keith Crampton. Unable to get down the track earlier on. Pesky little problem that's preventing him from doing so, but perhaps they've got it sorted out. The thing is then, when you're chasing an issue, it's normally the simplest of things, be it a 5 pence part or something that's on the wrong way round, anything. Going alongside James Auld with the Little Faust Dragster. Set a new personal best on mile an hour today, only by 0.04, but it'll do. It's a personal best. Now he's looking for a 12.70. Keith Crampton looking for a 10.90. Ah, finally Keith's going to get it down the track. Be a delight and relief when he gets back to the pits. James Auld goes 12.34. Oh, he won't care less when he gets back to the pits with that one. He's broken out big time, but the big word is there, personal best. Speed and ET there for James. His PB going into that was 12.38. He's just gone 12.34, and he's got 108.56 miles an hour. Good run there for Keith Crampton. He went quicker as well, 10.86 at 117. His PB 10.78, so he's not far off that either. But you cannot do any better than a personal best, because it's, you know, quickest that the car goes. Well done there to James. Right, well, Skippy, JJ and Ford actually with the Cheap Thrills Dragster, and my goodness me, did they strap a personal best onto the car this weekend. 9.05 at 144 for the Dragster, and hence the dial-in change, 8.95. 9.32 Phil James. He's been way into the 8s before, but calmed the car down a fair bit, but he knows how to win events, he knows how to win trophies as well. .908 and a 9.24. Very consistent. 9.08 and a 9.05 earlier, 144 mile an hour on both runs for the Ratchet Strap Racing Dragster. So 9.24, 142 for the Rampage Funny car. Mark Coulsell with the ball breaker. The little slip. Oh, a little flick of a stone just to hit the window then. That's Jim Tanner with the Shindigger. Right, now Mark Coulsell, I'm surprised he's, well, the car's going to go a fraction quicker than 8.23. He's been 8.20, went 8.19, apologies, personal best today. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself a lot this weekend, but that's what's happening at the moment. Everybody's setting PBs. So the Shindigger in the auto clip lane. The ball breaker is in the energy check lane. Coming up to the line. Let's see if we can get small personal bests. Jim's is a 9:40 actually going into this, although he does 9:50. Well, Jim's going for a little bit of a wander. No such issues there for Mark Courcelle again. Whoa, 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 8:14, 158 miles an hour. Mark Courcelle, my goodness me, Steve is tuned that car to perfection this weekend. He's just found another 500ths of a second. Goodness me, 8:14. Stout run indeed. 9:88 for the Shindigger. Goodness me, what a run that was. And it looked trouble-free. Oh, normally the calmer ones are the best ones. Right, let's see what Bob Morgan's got for us with the Beasting going alongside Rob White with Happy Days. Some of the coolest names of race cars and the best looking race cars are in the Wild Bunch. They do their own thing, they do it their way, and we love it. Right, target times. Bob Morgan, 10:20. Rob White, 12:50. Oh, a bit of a lazy launch there for Rob. That'll mean it'll probably be nearer a 14 than a 12:50. No such issues for Bob. Whoa, 10:04. Wow. That's another PB. Oh, so close to that 9. And 13:27 at 97 miles an hour. Happy days. Well, what a great session that was for the Wild Bunch. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And I bet the racers enjoyed it even more. Personal best appearing on quite a few of the runs there. Got the noisy bugger in the auto glim lane. Going V8's a pair. Look at that. 10:24 in each lane, and both of them going 130 miles an hour. Russell from Malta getting another run in prior to next weekend's OCS Group Sponsor Big Bracket at the Door Slammers. This Escort's mental, absolutely love it. 2.1 litre engine, 4-cylinder. There's something about Malta and Mark 1 Escorts. If one appears anywhere in the world for sale at a half decent price, Malta buys it. I think it's part of the national curriculum that you have to have a Mark 1 Escort out there. Going alongside this 34 Ford. That's right, these two very close together on the ETs. $11.10, $11.20. The Escort went $10.99 earlier on. Fairly consistent. Now, one thing's blatantly obvious. The guys that are here racing next weekend from Malta, they're here this weekend. They ain't going to go home in between, so they'll be hanging around Northamptonshire. Some of them staying at the track between Door Slammers and the main event. Right, Dave Simcock goes through with a 10.95 at 129. The Nostalgia Superstock entry. Ronnie Mercer and Mark Bracking, a couple from the Outlaw Anglia. Now Ronnie Mercer setting PBs this weekend in the 9.6s, really going well with Annie. Mark Bracking, totally street legal. And regularly proves it, does plenty of car shows in the locality around Northamptonshire. Even takes his lad to school in it. Proper nice guy as well, and that's about both of these two. A couple of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And 11.07. Pete Wiseman with the Dodge. We've been running in the 9.9s this weekend, and let's see if we can get another one here. Out in round one of Nostalgia Superstock to Alan Medley. See if we can get a 9.9 here. 9.97.137, that'll do. He can study that timing slip and work a few things out from that, but very nicely done indeed. 10.94 at 120 miles an hour for the little pickup. Hey, the top rod's back. Do like this. This is cool. This is super cool. And well, there's room for growth height-wise for the driver in the body. Don't know about legroom though, otherwise his feet are going to be sticking out the front grille. He had a 007 reaction time last time through, and he went 50.75 miles an hour. And bearing in mind the size of the wheels, that's pretty good going. There you go, 13.01 at 50 miles an hour once again. Yeah, just put some bigger wheels on it, it'll go quicker because the rear wheels are rotating so fast. Then obviously that would slow the acceleration down a bit. Either way, it's cool. Right, I can hear an engine below us, but I can't see a burnout coming through yet. Here we go. It's Kim Harrison with Ruby. Oh, no, that's Kim running alongside the car, so it must be Rod Harrison having a go. And Graham Smith with the Mustang. I mean, Rod must have driven this before, but hasn't been for a little while. Now, Rod's used to going 5+ seconds down the quarter mile. Not driving this, but he's having a go. Whoa, wheel stand as well for Ruby there. Rod driving it like he stole it off Kim there. Wow, 984! Wow! 136 miles an hour. Oh, Kim's very happy with that one. Oh, I loved that. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant. This is not what you got. Come that way. Right, it's the Garrett boys. Loving this. Basically, they've gone through the garage at home. We're going to put that lump in it. We're going to try this. We're going to put that in it. What else? A few bits lying around. Let's see what we can do with it. But good to see the boys up here. Special shout out for Rick Garrett. Be good to see you up here again, mate. Haven't seen you for a little while. But good to see that the boys are up here as well. They can't keep their hands off high-performance American V8s, though. They're doing lots of work on a lot of people's cars at the moment. And Lola got her own American muscle car now. That didn't take long for her to be converted. She's into Scoobies and things. Oh, good looking launch there for Ryan. Arrow straight once again. 8:48, 1:52. Knowing the Garrett boys though, they'll be back fiddling with it again, trying to get it to go quicker. Well done, guys. This Chop Morris Minor, one of the stars of the show this weekend. This is John Bean. Burnout of the weekend, to be fair, when he crossed the centre line just past the Christmas tree. Got it gathered up and brought it back to the start line. Quite entertaining, that was. I was running the 9s. Rather interestingly, got tow bar and electrics on the back of it as well. That's going to be a very rapid caravan if he hooks one of them up to the back of it. .10:47, 10:58, and best run of the weekend so far in the energy check lane. Well, this Alden's had a fair few runs this weekend. Unfortunately, I don't know who the driver is, but I certainly know it's the Barnett and Grant Falcon there, Nick Barnett behind the wheel. .11:41, 11:51. The hits just keep on coming. Now then, mid-July is the event we call Dragstalgia. And I think it's the 8th one this year. And one of the classes that runs to that is the Willis Wars. And we get about 25, 30 cars. These two will definitely be here for that. Oh, a little bit close to the wall, but A-okay. A bit of a box of frogs as it left the line, just leaping all over the place. Not really knowing which direction it's going to go. 12:22 and 14:94. Right, we're around about 25 minutes away for the next round of eliminations for our race classes this weekend. So that will be the Gasser Circus, Nostalgia Superstock, Supercharged Outlaws, and of course Outlaw Anglia. They'll be making their way into the lanes for around about 2:30 this afternoon, as we send them towards semi-finals. Oh, that's right, no, there is semi-finals and final, apologies. So the Frankenstein Chevy alongside this beautiful Chevrolet. And they're finding up the Camaro. This is the sort of thing I'd look to get hold of. 1965 Chevy. Beautiful car. .11:18 at 123 and 11:77, 116 for the Gasser. Don't forget, I still have this spindle end cap here in the tower that's come off one of the cars during the course of the weekend. Front wheel spindle cap. Got one here, so if you want to check the front end of your cars, I would have thought it'd be a dragster or an altered or something, but we've got one of those up here. Please come and see us if you're missing one. Ah, this is the husband and wife matchup once again. The Doyles. I love the two different appearances as well. Wife's car painted by the husband there. You got the rat look and the beautiful look, or the graffiti look if you like. So Torgo Studio 1335, Lizana 1508. Right, Paul Lawn went 1386 earlier on. Going very nicely indeed. Now then, I can't find the sheet for the other car there. $13.17 improved once again. Love it when a car finds chunks and chunks and chunks of time. Stuart McCarthy says to Graham Smith, "You've got the X factor." Stop the car there just for a moment. Right, Graham Smith with Snow White. Suffered from radial rock earlier on this weekend. Wasn't happy with that at all. Needs bead locks. Basically, the tyre rotates on the rim. It's not secured enough, so there's so much torque going through the wheels that they can sometimes slip inside the tyre. So a mission to get the other set of rears that they normally run was hatched, and lo and behold, there they are on the car. So Graham, the Tri-Chevy Shootout #1 man at the moment, going alongside Steve Murphy with the wagon. Arrow straight in both lanes. It's a 9.79 at 141, playing 11.25 at 120. Now Gray did go a little bit quicker earlier on. 9.79, 141. So still holds on to that #1 spot in the Tri-Chevy Shootout. Right, sticking with the Tri-Chevy Shootout. Another pair here for you. Okay, so this is, we'll just wait for the timing screens to update. Brad Strevitt and Chris Tyhurst. Brad, it's gone 11.53 so far. Chris, in the Autogun lane, it's got 14.28. $11.53. Stays put, and a 14.26. Best run of the day so far there for Chris. Okay, so next up then it is Ted Booth. Oh, hang on a second. Oh yeah, we got a bit of a fluid leak in the energy check lane. It's just dripping out the back of the car as it approaches the start line. Yeah, you can see the trail behind the wheelie bar, unfortunately. Whoa! and the front wheels come up good and proper there for Ted. Katie looks disgusted with it, but that was entertaining. 988, 143. I think they wanted a fair bit more out of the car than that. Yeah, a few spots, unfortunately, underneath the car. Certainly not worth risking it under any circumstances. High anxiety. The name of the car, the angle there. Right, the Austin, sorry. Lots of cars lined up in the lanes. It's been a super day here at SantaPod Raceway. The Nostalgia Nationals, day 3 of 3. And if you want to, that's a rather interesting noise. Tyre screecher coming up to the line. If you want to define the word cool, just look on the start line at these two cars. That just makes total sense there. Both drivers leaning out the windows to see where their front wheels are. Absolutely perfect, these two. Whoops, just a little bit of wheel spin and drifted the car towards the tree a little bit. First runs for these two this weekend. Apologies for not knowing who they are, but we love them. 13.99, 16.17. Certainly one of the quicker cars this weekend in the energy check lane. Let's look at the times actually, see where this one has been. It's definitely in the 10s. 10.24, 130 miles an hour. Phil Moores has also gone rather well today. He's been in the 11s. Make that, whoa, 10.17. What a leap up the leaderboard that was. 132 mile an hour for the supercharged Willis. Excellent run indeed. I remember that car when it was running mid-11s. Now it's running low 10s. Aha. We're looking forward to this. This is Tom Atkinson. And I need to look down at Dibs. Is Kirsty in there? Yes, she is. Right, okay. So, passenger ride for Kirsty Tram with Tom Atkinson. This will be good. Oh, not only that, it's launched like a bandit. 164 to 60 foot. Tom and Kirsty out for a Sunday afternoon drive here at SantaPod Raceway. Crosses the line. 11.22 at 120 miles an hour. We like that a lot. Great run. Did 7.16 at 97 miles an hour at the 8th. A 164, 60 foot. And I bet Kirsty is smiling away like a Cheshire cat in there. How cool is that? I love that run. 16.06 in the autoclave at 73 miles an hour at the strike. Right, we look down to see the crowd pleaser Chevy. The Gibsons. Oh, lots of wheel spin off the line, gathers it up and it finally gains some traction. And that's a rather rapid car in the energy check lane to set a PB of 11.24 at 127. A little bit quicker than it went earlier on today. 12.03, 115 for the crowd pleaser. slammed on the anchors with the forward, and the front wheel was pointing right. Graham Smith with the Mustang coming up to the line. He's had a whole host of runs today. .10.45, 127, and 11.84, 112. Good run there for Graham. Right, okay, the driver reached up and flicked on switches then, as the car's actually come to a standstill between the 330 and the 8th. Not quite sure what's happened there, but everything totally switched off in the car. So that will be a little bit of a retrieval, and that's a fair old push back or a tow forward for whichever way the car ends up going. Just for a moment though, Nitro FM, if you can just take the airways for a moment. Back with you very shortly as we get ready for some more Run What You Brung action, and also eliminations at round 3. Nostalgia Superstock are in the pairing lanes. Okay, so we are running once again here at the Nostalgia Nationals, very close to actually our next round of eliminations for our race classes this weekend. Still Ortard's just going to put a run in. I think Gary Carr is down there as well with the Camaro. Indeed, there he is. Gary really putting in some stout runs this weekend in preparation for Door Slammers next weekend. Run 9:25 at 148. Got a funny feeling he may find a little bit more would be helpful next weekend. He's in a heads-up class. But having said that, he's got a consistent car. 9:20, another improvement. 148 at the stripe, and 11:30, 111.4. Well, our race class is not too far away at all. We got it's actually quarterfinals in Nostalgia Superstock, but they can hot lap. They can get back down to the start line relatively quickly. Our other classes are at semi-final stage. Four contestants through in the Gasser Circus: Brian Gibson, Steve Matthews, Nervous Nick and Sean Milsom. In Outlaw Anglia, it is Simon Barlow, Scotty Crookston, Colin Miller and Paul Hensher. Any one of those four can take the victory here this weekend. Can't wait to see how that's going to pan out. Colin Miller on for an ET record, already got Simon Barlow with a speed record. So the Big Austin having his own issue on the start line, not quite sure what's happened there. Reset the clocks, bring him forward again. That's better. Cheeky little wheelie off the line as well. $11, 12, 117 miles an hour, best run of the weekend. Right, here we go then, Nostalgia Superstock. And it is quarterfinals into semis. Now, whoever wins this will get a bye into the final. Clive Dandridge, Jake Cawthorne, Clive dialing in 13.20, Jake dialing in 12.13. Winner of this guaranteed a trophy. Jake chasing Clive down, but I think he may run out of real estate here. Oh, no! Clive had a huge hole shot there, and I mean a huge hole shot. Didn't back out of it though, went 13.19 and broke out. Jake takes the win. Oh.
Clive has been tranned, I think.
Oh dear, what a shame for Clive, but Jake taking the round win. Right, now Claire Johnson on an actual bye here into the semis. Still getting a little bit of tyre shake off the line. They see here the tyre marks behind. Noticeably dialing in a 9.97 this time. She's going to be in the 10s this time. She is 10.06.
10.0, yeah.
It's getting a bit warmer out there actually, so air not as good. Alan Medley into the auto lim lane. He's dialing in 10.62 with the Olds timer. And Jim Smith Darling 11.6. Now, interestingly, if Alan wins this, it'll be an all Oldsmobile semi-final, and it's going to be Claire's new car, or her current car, against her old car, because that used to be Claire Johnson's car, the one that Alan drives now.
Okay. So 2 Ambers head start, off we go.
God, the never-ending burnout there for Sean Milsom. 11.61 for Jim Smith, taking the win on 11.60 Darling. Alan Medley doesn't make it through to the semis, to well done to Jim. So that's one Oldsmobile he's got round. He's got to get round another one to make the final. Jake Cawthorne gets the bye. Right, Gasser Circus. It's Nervous Nick taking on Sean Milsom. This for a place in the final. Darlings, 10 flat, 11.47. Nick go for a bit of a wander there at the top end. Sean Milsom takes the win, a very well judged 10.02 on a 10 flat Darling. But not sure where Nervous Nick was going there.
Now you know what they're calling Nervous Nick.
Yeah.
So 10.04 for Steve Matthews. He's got to wait 1 second for Brian Gibson, who gets 1 second head start, 11.08. So that's 2 Ambers on the tree.
Gore loading up the converter, and off he goes, and goes red. Steve Matthews books his place in the final. .11.05 breakout, 10.93. Right, here we go then. This is what we've been waiting for, especially the man who stood next to me in the tower. This is Outlaw Anglia. Well, Gin has joined us in the tower, and I'll tell you what, 2 cracking semi-finals coming up.
The whole weekend's been cracking. We're now down into the runoffs, and it could be anybody.
Yeah.
And it could be who gets to that stripe first. I think there'll be a lot of partying and a lot of jumping around on this on the start line from the crews.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've been talking about Simon's record-breaking form here, going 7.45 in quali, but then looking at what Scotty's got, 7.54, and he's very consistent as well. And Scotty is razor sharp off the line as well. This is going to be a good.
This could be one out of the hole. There's no doubt about it.
So the Orange Pop, Simon Barlow, #1 qualifier, taking on #4 qualifier Scotty Crooks, who went 7.67 in quali, but he's got quicker and quicker as the weekend's progressed. He went 7.54 in the previous round. It's closer, the 7.33 at 190.6 mile an hour.
Now this is going to make the final quite interesting. Who?
Backs up the 190.6 with 190.6, that'll do.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing was very noticeable there. Scotty treed slightly, a 0.3. But Simon was on the revs.
He hasn't even gone in. The second bulb wasn't even lit, and he went up on the noise. And I thought, oh, he's not going to sit him out here, is he? Great race, great race.
Very good indeed. It's one of the quickest side-by-sides. It's not possibly not the quickest ever, but one of them. Cracking race. But Scotty this weekend, 7:55, 7:54, 7:57, perfect. Right, Paul Henshaw, Colin Miller. Colin Miller went 7:30 in round one. Paul Henshaw, 7:61 in the previous round. Another pick and choose race. Shake for both of them. Oh, side by side. This is a pick and choose one, and it is Paul Henshaw. Oh, 7:41 a pair. Oh, wow.
One out of the hole as well. Yeah. Colin had severe tyre shake. If you look down onto the line, you can see all that.
Yeah, look at the win margin, 0.01 of a second. Both of them running 7:41s. But it's Paul Henshaw that takes the win.
Epic.
Gina, thanks ever so much indeed, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Okay, so we are into the Supercharged Outlaws, and this is Mike Crouch in the slingshot. Current best 9:68 with the 6, and Aaron Windridge having a real banner weekend. He's your number 3 qualifier, and every run seems to be a PB. Okay, so the Outlaw Anglia don't have formal eliminations. They spend the weekend qualifying, and the winner is declared from a certain aspect of the qualifying. So this is Aaron's second season in the car. He had a couple of goes last year. This is the first time Mike has been out in this particular car. It's first outing this weekend. Certainly worth the wait to see that car.
Yeah, you're welcome. Wow. That's an upset, isn't it?
So Aaron off and running. That car just hooked up and went going quicker and quicker. 7:72.
Finds 0.05 of a second. 9:77 there for Mike. So, many thanks indeed to Gina once again for Outlaw Anglia colour commentary. That were two stunning semi-finals. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So the final, Simon Barlow, Paul Henshaw.
Okay, so one of the beauties of the way the Supercharged Outlaws do things is that we get to see them all every session.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
Yeah.
A bit like the World Bunch, isn't it? We get to see them as well.
Okay, so Tony Underhill in the energy check lane.
Tony getting the hang of the burnout routine. That's way better. As you alluded to, Tog, actually gutted we haven't seen Swiss Chris this afternoon. It would have been nice to see that slingshot back out again. So Tony on his previous run went 9:61. Feeling he may go a little bit quicker this time as he gets used to the car and all the controls, and he's been out of the hot seat for quite a while as Tony, so needs to feed himself back in, and obviously wants to look after the car as well. A lot of time and effort and money has gone into this. And they've already destroyed a torque converter this weekend. They don't really want to do any more. But here we go then. Tony Underhill with the 41 Willis. .981 138.
Okay, so that is Gary Parks, the Purple Days, Alford. So Stone hits the front of race control, courtesy of Gary's rear slicks.
Yeah, that's the second one today, actually.
Remember a long time ago, Chris Hannum with his Super Twin, he used to have a microphone which hung out the front of race control until Chris Hannum came along.
Oh,
did a huge burnout, and the microphone swung up and smashed on the front of race control. Well, he's not the sort of guy you go and bill, you know, it's sort of like, oh, 25 for another mic, please, Cannon.
So Gary Parks this weekend, so far 903. The best we know the car will be capable of more on that.
So we haven't seen the Haggis Hunter this weekend, have we?
No, and we've also haven't seen Jim Asher for a little while.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to recycle the tree, give it another go.
No, he's actually not going to run.
Not happy.
So, something not quite right. When the driver indicates like it's normally oil pressure, not entirely happy. So electing not to take the run. And if the driver's not happy or if he spots something, then there's no point trying to do the run. He's got some big gauges in front of him, and the main one they do keep an eye on more than anything else is oil pressure. And if he's spotted something there, loss of oil pressure, no point in doing the run.
Very nice, strong sounding burnout from Paul again.
That sounds much better.
Yeah.
Much, much better indeed. Oh, fingers crossed for Paul. He's been fighting it this weekend. Pesky gremlins have got into the mix there. Simon Boot managed to sort his issue out earlier on this weekend. Did a lot of work that was almost not necessary at the end of the day, but anyway, they got the problem fixed. Dale can get a good run in here. The sigh of relief for the crew will be refreshing to see. Fingers crossed for Paul. Simon Boot, he's gone 9.22 this weekend. That's more like it for Paul Dale. Oh, it's gone a bit wayward, but the car has launched, which is a big relief for the team. That's 9.27.150, 10.99 116, but the car launched, and that is the main thing. You can see the team are happy. Despite the car going a bit wayward, thank goodness for that, they've got their car back. Now they've just got to go in a straight line. Not very often you see a team smiling at a 10.99, but hey, they put a lot of work in this weekend. It's finally working.
Okay, so Paul Watts and Keith Freeman next up. Keith Freeman in the yellow coupe.
That was good, strong burn out there for Paul.
Yes.
Really been giving it plenty, fair to say, this weekend.
Who'd have thought on Friday we'd be sitting in there getting toasty today?
Well, we hoped, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Dress rehearsal for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
In fact, Todd, I just may very quickly say, although we've told everybody to come the next weekend,
Yep.
we must tell them get here early.
oh hell yes,
Because well, we think there's going to be a bit of a roadblock out there.
Yeah, oh,
so
yes.
take it from us, folks. Get here early if you're here for the weekend.
Yeah, the A45 being shut is one of those things we could have done without.
9.74 and a 12.21. Both of them have been quicker this weekend. Andy Hadfield's burnout, close your eyes, sounded like a pro mod then, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, he did a last photographer burnout, went all the way down to Julian. And, so, currently quickest time of the weekend belongs to Andy Fadster at 7:67. 10 thousandths quicker than the next car.
Andy did a long social media Facebook post after his run earlier on. It was quite a few words with it, and then he just put 2 words on the end, which summed it all up really.
Ah.
I'm back.
Good, good.
So let's see if he can go 170 mile an hour. He went 169 on his previous run, 767. And the Agamemnon, the Tri Chevy. Cure on the Fadster.
That'll do you.
757, 180. That'll do. It's a fair old leap up in MPH at the stripe there.
Yeah, huge.
And he's found 10th of a second as well. Susie Q and Texas Ranger, Mick Hillier, and of course the lovely Kirsten. Kirsten PB with an 8.29 this weekend. And one of the quick 6 this weekend, as announced a little bit earlier on by the NSRA. Always here supporting their events. There was me saying it was Mick Hillier with the Texas. It's not, actually. I just spotted. I got totally the wrong car. It's Freddie's Revenge.
Yeah.
They swapped the body. Is that a sackable offence, Todd?
Well, we'll give him that because that body's okay. So, but yeah.
Oh, look at Freddie go. Arrow straight
Good
to
boy.
a 772 at 182. A 914, 152 for Susie Q.
It does make me wonder whether they put that body on to see if it went straight.
Yeah. The old work of aerodynamics, I think.
Okay, so Gary Parks back for another go with the Purple Days altered.
That was a cracking run there for Robbie, actually. 772, 182. I don't know what his PB is in that car, but that ain't far off it.
Can't be far off. No. So we've got 757, a 767, a 2772s. So I rather suspect with Kirsten's run just now, they took it back the other way again just to get the handle back. Now the next session they'll tweak it up a little bit again.
Okay, so Gary Parks brings the altered up to the line. See if we can find that elucidate.
Good man.
Whoa,
That'll do you.
smashed his way in there. 886 and 153. Cracking run there for Gary Parks. Very happy indeed. And go and shake the hand of your Chief Marshal as well. How about that? 886 at 153. Well, and there to Robbie Grabban, I think. Oh yeah, we got the alternate ladder for Outlaw Anglia. Gary Hill and Phil Druitt. Bit confusing for these guys. They don't normally run to dial in. They normally heads up. Of course, they don't want to try not to break out now, so totally different ball game for them. I know some of them go into like Pro ET or Super Pro as well, but some of them it's the first time they're actually doing this. Oh, it's a bit but pick and choose at the strike. Look very close to each other. 968 loser. Pure reason being a double breakup, but Gary Hill 968, cracking run from him. 946 for Phil Druitt. Both of them really stepping on it there.
Check out that finish line margin.
Oh, tape measure.
2.93 inches.
Wow. 0.0012 of a second that was. Right, Barry Woodford, the altered limb lane, and Matt Cooper, he is in the energy check lane. Matt Cooper dancing around his lane there. Goes 8.25, takes the win to a lose out. 11.29 on an 11.30 dial-in. Breaks out by less than 1/100th of a second. That's how close that one was. Got there first, did Barry, but by 0.02 of a second. Broke out by 0.01. Good race, that one. Enjoyed that.
Okay, Marshall suiting up the fire gear can mean only one thing, or two things, jet car or Robin Reid. Jet car's going home, so that'll be Robin Reid. Daimler on nitro.
Awesome.
World's quickest and fastest Daimler. And deep into the sixes, just a touch under 200 miles an hour. That is the goal. Robin has another car under construction, but I think he really, really wants to do the 200 in this one. It's for purely sentimental reasons, and I don't blame him.
199.8, I think, is the bench that they've been at the moment, isn't it, Tom? It's a bit like,
it's
Mark
thereabouts,
Todd. He was struggling to get the 200s in his street eliminator car, but he eventually cracked it, and I'm sure Robin can here as well. But will it be now? Right, Robin Reid versus the track. That's about, I should say, Robin Reid versus the clocks. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
That'll do.
686, 195 miles an hour is a stout run. At 4 mile an hour under what he wanted to be, but he got there too quick to build any speed. 686, 195. Went 684 on Friday. Just 200ths apart those two runs that he did there. Parachute out, slows him down nicely and takes the top exit as planned. All right, let's have a look behind us to see. Oh, it's a pair of Willis Wars cars. We are back into Run What You Brung. Now, the Willis Wars is part of the huge contingent of racers that take to the strip at Dragstalgia. That event coming up in July. That was a lovely run there, 10.92, 131, quickest of the weekend. And somewhere in the region, about 25, 30 cars enter the Willis Wars. It's the biggest gathering of Willis race cars pretty much anywhere that takes place at SantaPod at Dragstalgia. That weekend is in the middle of July. To find out more about all the events here at the pod, www.santapod.com or the .co.uk will take you there. Obviously, search SantaPod Raceway on Facebook, and you can pretty much catch up with everything that's going on up here. So many events planned throughout the year, are probably the busiest year ever here at Europe's premier drag strip. Next weekend, Dorset, the weekend after that, the main event. So many cool events coming up. Right, Dave Cherritt with the Dark Revenger. He's got one of the 100Es for company in the energy check lane. Apologies, don't know who's driving that car. See if Dave will run it at the back door once again. He ran in the 9.9s earlier on. Lovely launch. Yep, straight out the back door to a 980. Whoa, I'm liking that one. 130.62 miles an hour. Super quick run there for Mr. Cherritt. Don't forget, it's got an aerodynamics of a greenhouse, that car. But got the job done, 980, 130. 11.69, 118 for the 100E. Good looking run indeed. Oh, the cool cars. Love these two. Proper old school Fords. And this is old school Fords normally like your Mark 1 Escorts and stuff like that, but this is going even further back than that. This is doff your cap Fords. Love them. Oh dear. Don't you just love these two? John Beam with the chopped Morris Minor, and Tom Atkinson. Who's in there this time? Is it Kirsty again? Should go for another ride. Somebody's in there. Awesome burnout. I think Kirsty was down for 2 runs, wasn't she, Tom? Yeah. Let's see how this one goes. But we're certainly loving this Chevy wagon that Tom is the very proud owner of now. .161, 60 foot. And 11.17, 120 at the stripe, 10.75, 125 for the chopped Minor. Right, we've got Graham Smith with the Mustang in the Auto Clim Lane. A good number of runs this weekend. And Ted Booth, the Outlaw Anglia stroke Gasser Circus entry. The Tri-Chevys are back out once again, and it's Graham Smith with Snow White. Graham runs in Top Speed Automotive Street Eliminator as his class of choice. Be racing here in 2 weeks' time for the main event. I did try and have a go at him to say, come on, race next weekend at the Door Slammers, but running out of free weekends is our Graham, so may pay a visit, but definitely racing out to the main event. Going alongside Brad Strevitt. Now Brad so far has run 11.53, Graham 9.60. And that's 9.67 and 11.79. John Gibson with the Identity Crisis Gasser Circus car, going alongside Gary Carr with the Camaro. Gary set his best run of the weekend so far on his previous trip down the quarter. He's in the low 9s, that's where he wanted to be, went 9.20. He's here next weekend for Door Slammers. 9.31, 147 and 11.03 at 118. God, they're happy with that one. Yeah, nice one. Well, I'm assuming there's something in the lanes, but I can't see anything. Around the corner to see who's about. Wow, I'm surprised. Well, we got and wait with anticipation to see who it is. Tom Atkinson, come down and have another go. We enjoyed that. I'll tell you what, I don't think he's going to. Just let Kieran go through. Ah, yes, you can see the tow truck that's suddenly arrived. I'd imagine the Wild Bunch have still got another session to go. We've still got finals to go with Outlaw Anglia and, of course, the Supercharged Outlaws and Gasser Circus. We still got semi-finals to run for Nostalgia Superstock, but one of those will be a bye. and then obviously Nostalgia Superstock can go into finals as well. But we've had a super weekend here, we really have. The weather's played its part for the first 2 days, intermittently, thank goodness. But today has been absolutely glorious. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. The Nostalgia Nationals, in conjunction with the NSRA, don't forget their stand is here. You can get hold of the latest goodies from them, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, caps, key rings, all sorts of things, and you can get hold of the little flyers which tells you all of their dates that are coming up this year. Next event for them is the NSRA Fun Run, 14th to the 16th of June at Rutland Showground. They, of course, are here for Dragstalgia, the 12th through to the 14th of July. The NSRA Hot Rod Super Nationals, 9th to the 11th of August at Old Warden Park. The Hot Rod Drags are here at SantaPod, 13th to the 15th of September. And the Northern Swap Meet, 20th of October, definitely worth paying that a visit. That's Magna Sheffield. So that's their dates. For all information on the NSRA, please visit the website, which is the 3 W's, obviously, nsra.org.uk. Right, well, I think the Tot Rod's made it back down again, so looking forward to another 50-mile-an-hour pass from that little car. Tell you what, Nitro FM, if you can just play a couple of messages, you can see the lanes better than I can. And when we get going, once again, we'll take it back in the tower. Well, the little Tot Rod goes 50 miles an hour once again. A 13.15 at 50.59. I really think that is super cool and enjoy seeing that car Got the track. I don't know how much longer that young man's going to be able to do that, because he's going to grow out of it eventually. I know there's space for him to grow upwards, top half of the body, because there's a lot of room in the roll cage, but his feet will eventually stick out the front grille. And well, he won't be able to reach the pedals anymore because his feet will be where his shins are. Okay, burn out. Let's see some more. You almost look at the Morris Minor and you think the styling cues came off the Willis in a funny sort of way. Very similar boot line on the cars, similar rear wheel arches. So yeah, the styling cues for the Moggy Minor could have possibly come from the Willis. .12.09 and 14.75. Both of them making their best runs of the weekend so far, finding fractional Barnett and Graham Smith. Goodness me, these two have had plenty of runs this weekend. Graham Smith, every time we look, he's in the lanes. Certainly getting good value for money. Goes 11.55. And 14.50 in the energy check lane, 69 mile an hour off the gas early. You just hear the blower whining away as the car does its burnout. Really stunning bit of kit, this. That's John Beam with the Moggy Minor. So far as when in the low 10s, 10.27, the best so far for this little car. Might be a 10.27 this time around. Sounds like he's run out of gears. 11.48 at 93 miles an hour. That's definitely the Maltese Ford Escort down on the start line. The best in the very high 10s this weekend. Big old burnout as well. Right, Mr. Kassar, what have you got for us this afternoon then? Cracking looking car, this. Going to be in the OCS group supported big bracket. Drive it like you stole it, all the way through. Oh, a 10.96, the best run of the weekend for them. Went 10.99 earlier to set a PB, but 10.96, 118. It's cooled down a little bit out there. Excellent run indeed. Here we go then with the Wild Bunch. And what a weekend this lot have had. The freshly licensed Rob Brown at the controls of the Rebel this weekend. And how about Callum Swinchat this weekend? 890 at 147, setting both ends of his PB. I can't believe that they've still got 903. Mind you, having said that, they leave the dial-ins alone all weekend long. They have to preset them. But the next meeting, you just know that 9 is going to change to an 8 something. So Rob Brown brings the Rebel up to the line, 854 number of choice. Callum Swinchat aiming for 903. I don't think either will mind if they go there a little bit quicker. See if Callum can go 88 this time. Well, Rob taking the scenic route, got it under control though. Callum goes 892, consistent. 882. God, it's been such an entertaining weekend. I don't really want this day to end, to be fair. Such good on-track action out there. All right, Bob Morgan with the beasting, and it's happy days with Rob White. So many PBs in so many classes. Just looking at the ones I've actually spotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 PBs in the Wild Bunch so far. And some of them have done double PBs as such. So if you make that 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 PBs altogether of speed and ET combined. That's pretty good going. So Bob Morgan on hunt for a 9, goes 10.03. He's chipping away at it. 1380 at 88 miles an hour there for happy days. Skippy JJ and Ford with the Ratchet Strat Racing Cheap Thrills Dragster went 905 at 144 earlier on. Going alongside Craig Larman with the Ferret. At 1051 at 121. Whoa, 904. Wow, what a super run that was. 1042 at 122. Another PB pair of. Keep up with the space on this sheet to write all these numbers down. Right, let's have a look then. James Auld. Guess what? Set a personal best earlier on in the last run. Coming into this meeting, it was a 12:38. It's now a 12:34. Going alongside Jim Tanner with the Shindigger. Set a new speed personal best today, 147.68. Jim going all over the place. James All goes 12.28. Wow. Phenomenal performance there for James. 12.28. Well, if you'd have told him this morning that he was going to go 12.28, wouldn't have believed you. Well done, James. Right, Dan Boone and Philippa Turton. Dan Boone with American Pie, totally period correct, that car. Great looking colour scheme. But looks like he's struggling to find reverse gear at the moment. Ah, he's found it. Philippa Turton then, she's looking for a 13.1, that's her target. Dan Boone, 8.60. Okay, let's bring them up to the line then. I think, yeah, there's still some more Wild Bunch cars around the corner there. We can see the Sultan Shaker gun, the ball breaker. And very interestingly, a pair of Mustangs have appeared in the pairing lanes, and we'll tell you more about those. Right, Dan Boone, a straight run, a little bit wayward, but straight, 8.96.148, and Philippa Turton, 13.32.97. Well, where is this story going to go for Mark Courcelle? 8.19, he went earlier on a PB of 8.20, and then he went even quicker, 8.14. The speed is still staying the same at 159, he's just chipping away at the ET. So Haley Fife looking after Keith Crampton with the Sultan Shaker. There we go then, Steve points to Mark and said that's where the tree is. Study it and go on it. Keith Crampton looking for 10.90, Steve 8.23. They can go for a breath they want. Oh, where's this going? Where's this going? 8.17 once again below 8.20 and 10.82 for Keith Crampton. Good looking runs a pair there. Right, Mick Hillier then, the Texas Ranger. But unfortunately the burnout and then being pushed back, that's a bit of a shame there for Mick. Oh no, hang on a second there. Perhaps he was just a little bit wayward after the burnout. They're going alongside Phil James with the Rampage, the Monza Funny car. the targets. 9:20 for Mick, 9:32 for Phil. .928 and a 10:29. Tell you what, the Wild Bunch trophy presentation is going to take a while tonight with so many people saying, yeah, I was at a PB, yeah, I've set my best ever speed and ET in both. But that's going to be fascinating to see how that one pans out later on. It's been very, very good indeed for the Wild Bunch this weekend. Right, these two cars are going to be taking part in Door Slammers next weekend. I don't know who's driving them. But we've got a pair of Mustangs next weekend are going to be driven by the Kellets. Leah Kellett and Joe Kellett are running these cars at Door Slammers. Right, we just found out who one of the drivers is. Ian Marshall is in the black one. And it's James Forster in the other one. Ah, right. Two podmen. James Forster, one of the event organisers for many of the events here at SantaPod Raceway. He is in the black Mustang, and it is Ian Marshall, your chief starter here at SantaPod Raceway. He is in the white one. As I say, these two cars will be running next weekend in the Door Slammer meeting. This is part of a PR thing for SantaPod that these Mustangs, I'd like to say been given to us, but no, I think they're on a long-term loan. Good question actually for Ethan Lyle. Any idea when Nostalgia Superstock is coming for semi-finals? Everybody else is in finals. Basically, I think when you're ready. Because obviously finals, we'd like to run them all together. So if your guys are ready for semi-finals, probably get them down here whenever you're ready, Ethan. Right, James Forster and Ian Marshall. Ian's very keen to get the job done, but we're not ready to go yet. Come on, Kieran, let them go. Apologies, we've got a timing system lock up at the moment. Won't be a moment. Right. Ready to go in now. Sorry about that. Let's be the time when these two are ready to go. So James Forster taking on Ian Marshall. Oh, there's going to be some bragging rights going on here. James Forster has done more racing than Ian, but it's Ian's start line, and the reaction time advantage goes to Ian Marshall. But James Forster pulling away a little bit here. And at the stripe, it is a 13.32, plays a 13.61. Ian Marshall picked up a bit more speed at the stripe, but James got there first. But Ian Marshall had the better reaction time. But a pair of 13-second cars there. Good to see that one. Thanks ever so much indeed, guys. Nice to have a couple of the pod members of staff having a bit of playtime there. So James Forster takes that one there. Right, back into Run What You Brung. Time now 3:30 on a glorious Sunday afternoon here. Track will close at 5 o'clock this evening, and here we go. Nostalgia Superstock semi-finals. They will be coming round next. A couple of cars below us first of all, and then once these two have gone through, two pairs have gone through I should say, and then it will be finals for all of our classes. Just that Nostalgia Superstock had to get an extra round for the number of cars entered this week. Right, the Gibson's crowd pleaser, Chevy. Whoop. Yeah, okay. To go. Oh, I was doing a static burnout there. Ooh. I would have said that's only one rear wheel being driven there on the Chevy. In actual fact, the car looking a little bit lopsided. Not sure what's happened to the back end of the car, but when he went for the throttle, the car instantly hooked right. So possibly a breakage in the diff there, or certainly something's happened to the rear end on that car as the quad comes down from the top end to retrieve it. And yeah, lo and behold, having a look underneath it to see what the issue is. Bit of a bizarre one, that one. Right, okay, so that is a retrieval. The quad has appeared from the top end and going to be towing the Crown Pleaser all the way to the finishing line and through one of the exit gates. Well, I've got to say a massive thank you to everybody here today at SantaPod Raceway for not only coming along and supporting the event, but those of you that have taken part as well. Really have enjoyed this event. It's been chilled out, it's been laid back. The entertainment in the evenings has been absolutely superb. The live music from the bands on last night and the night before was absolutely superb. Everybody is in a really good mood this weekend. The weather has a habit of doing that to us anyway. But the NSRA Nationals here, Nostalgia Nationals here at SantaPod have been a tremendous event, and a lot of people have turned up. A lot of cars have parked up and for everybody to go and have a good look at. And there's been plenty of chin wagging in the pairing lanes as well. It's been a super event. Thoroughly enjoyed it. In the meantime though, whilst we await the retrieval of the Crown Pleaser Chevy, I'm going to hand over to Nitro FM just for a moment, play a tune. We will be back with the continuation of Run What You Brung, and of course the semi-finals of UK Nostalgia Superstock. And the top rod is back for another little run here. Went 13.15 at 50.59 miles an hour, and it goes 12.81 this time. Picked up on the ET, still running 50 miles an hour, so I think that must be terminal velocity for that, but still with a 12.81, like that, even more. Right, it's race time. Oh no, still wrong with brung, sorry. We got a pair of race cars and a solo coming up for UK Nostalgia Superstock. It's their semi-final. Right, first up, this Willis taking on this blown Ford. Fresh out of 1932, blown Ford. Gotta love it. And from the 1940s, the Willis. 12.22, 12.12. Best run of the weekend there for the 32. Right then, Nostalgia Superstock semi-final. It's Jim and Claire. Jim Smith, dialing in 11.60, 10 flat for Claire Johnson. She was the #1 qualifier. She ran her first ever 9 this weekend.
Watch her run a 10-1 now that he's warmed up.
Yeah, I think 10 flat's a good shout. I think 11.60 is a good shout. These two certainly know what they're doing.
Oh, hell yes.
A place in the final awaits. Yeah, that was Claire all the way. A 0.7 light plays a 0.26. And she coasted at the end, 10.18, drew alongside, took the strike by 0.05 of a second.
Very finely judged. Huh?
Yeah. Got to remember that Claire has a very experienced racer indeed. Jake Hawthorne is going to be her opponent in the final. Dials at 12.13. He's had a similar reaction time to Claire. Goes 12.29. Your final is set. Nostalgia Superstock. Graham Smith once again with the Mustang. He's got so many runs. He's going to run out of petrol soon. Against the Outlaw Anglia. Apologies, I don't know who's driving this, but it's a fresh in primer. So that on checkout passes, so not using the parachute at the moment. Looking run though. 10.20 at 138 and 11.77 110. Right, it's a good one. In actual fact, this is a great matchup. You got Pete Wiseman with the damage case going alongside Susie Q. One from Nostalgia Superstock, one from the Supercharged Outlaws. pretty fair to say that Pete's never been alongside something this quick before. He's going to enjoy it. Susie Q, 8:58. Pete Wiseman, 9:89. Good run there for Pete, actually, considering he tries to dial 9:90. That was very well judged indeed.
I think, sorry, Colin, Kirsten's team will be pleased with that too. It's pretty much like we said last time, like last run, they've taken some out. Now they put some back in and they're pretty much back on the level, not level playing field, back on level 2.
Did come off Susie Q on that run. No idea what it was, but that's now been retrieved by Chris. Obviously, that can be returned to the team, but we do have a car in the shutdown area that has actually stopped. Yeah, Susie Q stopped by the wall on the right-hand side. And the top end team are there to deal with that one. I think it's going to be a couple of moments before the car is towed round the corner, from what I can see from here. Yeah, I think we're going to put... Wow, very surprised we sent that pair, to be honest. Two very experienced drivers to go down the track there so they can deal with that incident. So nobody else to go down just for a moment, please. Right, well, we do have Susie Q in the shutdown area at the moment, but right at the very, very far end. And as I say, a part did come off. I'm not entirely sure what it was yet. I think we're just getting word that it was a belt. So still got quite a few cars lined up in the pairing lanes. Been a super afternoon, I've already said that. I know a lot of you are heading off home now. Very, very safe journey home. And if you've got the message now, we'll see you next weekend, and we will see you the weekend after. Nitro FM, if you could take the airwaves over once again for us. Bit of retrieval in the shutdown area at the moment. We'll be back racing very shortly with the continuation of Run What You Brung, and we've still got our finals to go in our race classes later on. Shame we had to cut that record short, actually. It was one of the best records around back in the day. But it's Gary Carr and Ray Irish. Gary, as we know, is going to be here next weekend for Door Slammers. Next time we anticipate seeing Ray will be probably Summer Nationals, if not Dragstalgia. So many events here at SantaPod Raceway, pretty much every weekend, something going on here. .49, 144 there for Gary. And 10.06, 130 for Ray. Right, well, the time now, 4 o'clock. We've got an hour left of the meeting here this weekend, which means we've still got some of our finals to go. So many. I'm just looking out the window at the back here, just seeing some of the cars leave the show car park, if you like. Best way to describe that. There's been some stunning machinery in there today, and a lot of stunning machinery on the track as well. Now then, the two Mustangs come to have another go. I'm guessing it's James Forster in Ian Marshall once again. Now then, these two cars will be competing at Door Slammers next weekend with the Kellett family behind the wheel. They've got Leia and Joe going to be driving these two cars, but it's James Forster in the black car, Ian Marshall in the white, and well, Ian Marshall just left James for dead on the tree. Left him for dead on the track as well. Look at this. 13.11 plays a 13.24. I think that levels the score. Let's have a decider. Right, these two, actually, funny enough, these two paired up last time out, actually. But they're going together again, the Moggy Minor and the Willis. Good reaction times, to be fair, on Run What You Brung. 0.15 and 0.27. And a 12.29. No improvement on their previous best for either car. Unfortunately, all of my sheets have disappeared now. They've taken them to the office as they need to keep all the Run What You Brung sheets for filing copies, so they've all gone. They've had all my notes written on them as well. So we're into the last hour of the meeting here. Basically got about half an hour left of Run What You Brung. Scheduled to finish at 4:30 today, and then we can run our finals and then say thanks ever so much to everybody, safe journey home sort of thing. But yep, into our last hour, half an hour left of Run What You Brung, and then all of our race finals. Can't wait to see all of our finals today. Nostalgia Superstock. Going to be Claire Johnson and Jake Hawthorne. In Gasser Circus, Steve Matthews and Sean Milson. The Wild Bunch will do their final runs, assuming they've got another set of runs to come. Supercharged Outlaws, and of course the final in Outlaw Anglia. Paul Hencher taking on Simon Barlow. It's going to be a cracking race. The pairing lanes, in actual fact, the pairing lanes are empty. There's nobody there. Anybody going to come on down? Who's going to join us? We're going to get those two Mustangs back. We need a decider between those two. See if the timing crew can take the Kango and the little Ford up the racetrack. See who's the quickest between Kieran and Sharon. That'll be good. That'll be good fun. Now, normally, if you come to a meeting like, I just spotted one of the recovery trucks over there with that very, very old Model T pickup. Not quite sure what it is. And you sort of think, oh, where have they just found that? But no, that's been on display this weekend. I like the look of that. I tell you what, that is the best car show ever. Airfield Road at the end of a nostalgia meeting. You could literally just go halfway down, park up, sit there with your camera, and catch all of these cars that are leaving the premises. You will not see another car parade like that anywhere else. Funny enough, unless you go to Old Warden, actually. That's a great NSRA show, and that's coming up in August. But as we await for more cars to come into the pairing lanes, well, rather, I'm sort of commentating on stuff that's leaving the premises at the moment. There's a blue pickup truck with a caravan on the back, but it looks like someone's given it a roof chop, actually. Very, very low down. You can actually look through the rear view mirror and see over the roof of the caravan. I don't think I've only seen one like that before, ever. They've made the call. Excellent. The two Mustangs, I thought they'd come back down for another one. And here they are. All right, so Ian Marshall having to go against James Forster. Come on, James, bring it round. Ian trying to do a burnout there, but I don't think the car was going to have it. So, I believe it's 1-1 between these two. So, this is the decider. You know, even Nicky sort of laid it out to get a picture. James managed to do a burnout. So, Ian Marshall in the autocollision lane, the white car. James Forster in the energy check lane, the black car. The decider. Right, it's a head start for Ian Marshall. He's got away first. Look at the top end scoreboards, 0.43 to a 0.61. Oh, but Ian's car is slowing. What's happened? Ian broke it. 13.11 at 109. James Forster takes the win. 17.13 at 72 for Ian. Oh, Nicky, go and tell him off. So James Forster takes that 2-1, but Ian Marshall was the quicker away, and yeah, and that's Ian was well off the gas at the 8th, to be fair. Right, the top rod is back. Went in the 12s for the 8th mile earlier on at a smidge over 50 miles an hour. And 50 miles an hour once again, 13.15. Well, if you could dial in a speed instead of an ET, then this car would win everything. Well, if you want to do run what you've brung and you're still in the pits and you've already signed on, get your final runs in of the day. You've still got a few minutes left of that. Time now 7 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. Run what you've brung not due to finish for another 23 minutes, so if you want to get your final runs in, come on down. Let's have you. Or are you also just chilled out and enjoying life that perhaps you don't want to take another run down the track? Well, this Morris Minor certainly had a whole heap of runs this weekend. Unfortunately, I don't have the driver's name, and I do sincerely apologise about that. All my slips have disappeared now. tell you what, if you take either of these two cars to your local town centre and sort of park it next to a supercar, I know which one I'd go and look at more. Definitely one of these two. They're just so cool. And it's often the case, actually. You do get to see supercars on the road and you go, oh yeah, look, it's a Ferrari. Oh yeah, look at this, look at that. But when you see an old muscle car or a hot rod, you really got to go and have a look, because you don't see them very often. Down here, plenty of them. There is something about seeing hot rods and muscle cars on the road really is super cool. Right, the Willis and the Zodiac. Right, Ian Marshall just explaining to Nicky that he's found the keys to the excuse locker. I wonder which one he's using for his terrible performance there. Oh dear, I'm jesting with him. Can't wait to find out the reason for that. Oh, that old chestnut. Oh, Jim, fresh from his semi-final appearance in Nostalgia Superstock, now in Run What You've Brung. Right, well, he did dial 11.6. When he's in eliminations. Let's see what he can do this time. That's a good looking run. Oh, 11.55, 117, the quickest of the weekend there for Jim. The hot lap in Morris Minor, and why not? Well, the Tot Rod's obviously had a little top up from the jerry can. I want to see it do 51 miles an hour. It's done 50 again, but 12.97, he's back in the 12s. So as the Tot Rod takes the first exit, track is now clear. Let's get the next pair down. Right, Ted Booth with the Outlaw Anglia. He's getting quite a few decent runs in today. He's running consistent 9s when having a sniff of gas in there. But no gas on that run, 10.73, 124. Well, I said it was a best of 3, but it's continuing. They can have another race. Ian Marshall, James Forster. Here we go. James in the right lane. Ian in the left. Energy check against Autoclim. James Forster versus Ian Marshall. Starline crew versus Office Boy. Oh, and it's Ian Marshall that's got away well this time. Absolutely treed James a tree there. Now don't miss any gears this time, Ian. And I think Ian's going to get there first. Yeah, 12.67 to a 12.97. I make that 2-all now. Oh, I'll have to have another decider. Right, well, our finalists are gathering in the pairing lanes. Steve Matthews very keen to get the job done. Ah, proper wheel spin there. The radial screaming for grip. But the engine was saying, I'm having too much fun, I want to give you more. 14.16 and 15.11. Well, Outlaw Anglia finalists are in the lanes. Gasser Circus finalists are in the lanes. You want to get the job done. .39 at 116. Tot Rod back down again. Not much left to come down into the pairing lanes, but as I say, the finalists are gathering. They're scheduled to run at 4:30. It's only just gone past 4:15. So they are a little bit early, but if not much else comes down, then perhaps we'll run them. But that's down to race control, not down to me. Can we have 51 mile an hour this time, or is it going to be 50 again? Oh, he's dropped a bit. 49.79. Oh dear. I wonder what the record is for number of runs in an hour. But I think the Morris Minor is going for that, because he's literally just done a run, driven straight back down to the start line again, and pretty much ready to go again. I hope he's got enough fuel in that for all these runs. So just to recap on the finals that we've got coming up, actually. It is Nostalgia Superstock. Claire Johnson taking on Jake Cawthorne. Claire was the #1 qualifier, and she has had a brilliant weekend. She's won her first ever 9. Dad, I think, is probably the happiest camper on the planet, certainly in Nostalgia Superstock this weekend. But Jake's done a very good job, actually. Got past Ollie in round 1, Dave Simcock in round 2. He got past Clive Dandridge in round 3, and he had a bye in round 4. So that set up that final. Gasser Circus. Steve Matthews, his start to the weekend wasn't brilliant, actually. Basically damaged the radiator. Had to get it all welded, get it back in the car. There was water and steam all over the car on Friday, but 2 days later, and here he is late on Sunday afternoon, he's going to be taking part in the final. And he'll be going alongside Sean Milsom. Now, obviously, it hasn't been a banner weekend for him either. Had early issues at the start of the event, but once again, doing a great job to get it past. Let's have a look at his journey. Got past. Let's see, it is Nick Brooks Langham, then got past. Huge. So Sean Wilson got past Nervous in the previous round. And then Dale Stoops round 5 to that. whole bunch. Callum Spinchak, goodness me, what a weekend he has had. Coming into this event, he's never run an 8 in the car. He's been 903 at 145 miles an hour. Now he can't really keep out of the 8s. He's had a best of 8.90 over 147. And finally, they've changed the dial-in board on the back of the car. It now reads 891. I think that number's going to stay on there for a little while. Now, if my calculations are right, this could be the very last pair in Run What You Brung, and boy, oh boy, have these two got plenty of runs in today. The Morris Minor and the Roadster, love it. And there they go, 13.97, 14.48. That's right, there's only 3 cars left in Run What You Brung, but the time now 4:30 in the afternoon, and time to get ready for our finals. Gasser Circus is going to be the first one. Sean Milsom and Steve Matthews. 8 Misbehaving taking on Honky Tonkin, and then we can see Outlaw Anglia tucked around behind them. But here we go then, the Gasser Circus final. They've been chomping at the bit to get this one going. Steve Matthews was so keen, he came to the head of pairing lanes and almost drove straight round. That was 15 minutes ago.
So both of these have had a small measure of adversity on the way here. As you mentioned, Steve, and then Sean lost some body panel earlier. So,
that was a pretty good spot actually, Todd, because I couldn't see where it had come from, but you spotted that. Well done, mate.
I'm only assuming because there just happens to be a gap there. If I'm right, I'll take it. Doesn't have nothing.
Dial-in 10.
Sorry, Colin.
Oh, yes, right, mate. 10.84 dial-in for Steve Matthews. Sean Milsom, 10 flat. Steve will be going first. Both into stage. Here we go. Lose out at 10.09. Takes the win there for Sean Milsom. Good advantage off the tree, to be fair. Well, in recent memory, when was the last time you saw an Outlaw Anglia final that didn't have a member of the Scottish contingent in it? But that's what's happened this weekend. Simon Barlow, Paul Hensher. Outstanding performances from everybody in Outlaw Anglia this weekend. And if that set the scene for the rest of the season, goodness me, it's going to be an incredible year for them.
Pretty casual toss of the chute restraint from Paul. So best is this weekend at 7:45, plays 7:62. But it's all very well reading something off a screen, but real life is something different.
Right, let's hold on tight and see what we get. Well, both of them taking the scenic route. It's going to be Simon Barlow that takes the strike with a 7:34. Look at the speed, 193 miles an hour at the stripe. Carl Harrison's going to need a new pair of arms after that. 8:03, 155 for Paul Hensher. But 7:34, 193.85.
Yeah,
and that's already backed up, isn't it?
No, it's
not.
not.
It was too quick, was it?
Yeah, gone too far. Well, gone too fast. Listen to me. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Oh, awesome. Absolutely awesome. Right, the final in the Stouter Superstock. It's the flag jumper. Jake Cawthorne dialing in 12.20. Claire Johnson 10.04 with the olds. This for the big trophy for UK Nostalgia Superstock. Is Claire going to wrap up a perfect weekend, or is Jake going to be the fly in the ointment?
Somebody is on their game. Well played,
That
Claire.
was Claire all the way. Wait for this one. A 009 light takes the win on a double breakout, 10.02 to a 12.17. Double breakout. Claire Johnson takes the win. Oh, she said she's never had a better day at the drags than yesterday. Well, she has. It's been today. Congratulations. Simon Barlow's team, the Orange Pop, congratulations to you lot. Oh, what a weekend for them. 193 mile an hour. Too quick for a record, unbelievably. So 190 is the record there, but they've taken the win. What a phenomenal weekend for them. Right, Phil Jewett and Matt Cooper. 8:10 against a 9:50. This is the round one shuffle around eliminations. These two have made it to that second ladder final. Oh, this is going to be a close one at the stripe. I think Phil Jewett may have enough. He has 9:57 to an 8:31. The win margin just about a tenth of a second. But I'm so glad they had that second ladder today. Thoroughly enjoyed that, and well done to Phil Jewett. Wow. Tell you what, the excitement at the end there was awesome, but absolutely cracking. Ladies and gentlemen, game over. What a weekend we've had. Thank you all so very, very much indeed. One of the most enjoyable weekends we've had here for this event. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Tog, again, thanks, mate.
Thank you, Colin.
It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
To have you alongside as my wingman. Yeah. Safe journey home, folks. Enjoy this glorious sunshine. You never know, you might get home in time for a barbie as well. But I'm going to sign off and say, see you in 4 days as we get ready for Door Slammers. Thursday, everybody will be arriving, and then Friday, we kick things off. Until next time, I'm going to sign off from the town. Nitro FM going to take it out for the rest of the day, but thanks ever so much to everybody. We'll see you again soon.